Welcome we back to the channel BBC Coin. But what if I told you, millions of people around the world are searching for one specific coin, the 1976 Liberty 1 cent United States coin, especially the one with no mint mark. Today, we're diving deep into the truth, the hype, and the real value behind this mysterious coin. So before you spend that old penny, watch this video till the end. Because you might be holding a hidden treasure. Let's start with the basics. The 1976 1-cent coin is part of the famous Lincoln Memorial Cent series. This design features the iconic face of Abraham Lincoln on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. This design was used for nearly 50 years, from 1959 to 2008, making it one of the most recognized coins in American history. But 1976 was not just any year. It was America's bicentennial year, celebrating 200 years of independence since 1776. While other coins like quarters and half dollars got special designs, the penny remained unchanged. Yet, that didn't stop collectors from paying attention. Now here's where things get interesting. There are actually three types of 1976 pennies: coins with no mint mark, made in Philadelphia; coins with a D mint mark, made in Denver; coins with an S mint mark, proof coins from San Francisco. The one most people talk about is the no mint mark coin, because many believe it's rare. But is it really? Let's reveal the truth. The 1976 no mint mark penny is actually one of the most common coins ever made. More than 4.6 billion coins were produced in Philadelphia alone. Yes, billion. That means chances are, if you search through old coins, you will definitely find one. And in most cases, its value is just 1 cent. That's right. Most circulated coins are worth exactly what they say, 1 penny. So where does this $1,200 value come from? Is it real? Or just internet hype? Here's the answer, and it might surprise you. Some 1976 pennies can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, but only under very specific conditions. Let's break it down. First factor, condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The higher the grade, the higher the value. If your coin is in perfect, uncirculated condition, with bright red color, it could be worth $150 to $350 or more, and in extremely rare cases, even higher. Second factor, mint errors. This is where things get exciting. Error coins are mistakes made during production, and collectors love them. Some known errors in 1976 pennies include double die errors, where letters appear doubled; off-center strikes, where the design is shifted; clipped planchets, where part of the coin is missing; die cracks or unusual markings. These errors can increase value dramatically, from $50 to several $100s, and in rare cases, even more. Third factor, extreme rarity plus perfect condition. Some coins that are graded extremely high, or have unique features, have been known to sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. This is where numbers like $1,200 come into play. But here's the key point: these are not normal coins. They are extremely rare exceptions. Now let's address a common confusion. Many people mix up the 1976 D coin and the no mint mark coin. The D stands for Denver Mint. These coins are also very common. Even in uncirculated condition, they are usually worth only a few dollars, sometimes around $1 to $5. So if your coin has a D under the year, it doesn't automatically mean it's valuable. Let's make this crystal clear. If you have a 1976 penny with no mint mark, ask yourself these questions. Is it shiny and uncirculated? Does it have any unusual errors? Is it professionally graded? If the answer is no, today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins among collectors, the 1976 United States Liberty 1 cent coin with no mint mark. This is not just any coin. This coin was minted during one of the most important years in American history, 1976, the bicentennial year celebrating 200 years of independence. While other coins like quarters and half dollars received special designs, the 1 cent coin remained unchanged. And that's what makes it so interesting. It quietly carries the legacy of that historic year without changing its appearance. Now let's take a closer look. On the front of the coin, you'll see the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has been used since 1909, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coin history. Above Lincoln's head, you'll find the famous words, "In God We Trust." On the left side, the word, "Liberty." And on the right side, the date 1976. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of unity and strength, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design was used from 1959 to 2008, making it familiar to generations of Americans. But here's where things get interesting. If your 1976 penny has no mint mark, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. During that time, coins from Philadelphia did not carry a mint mark, which often confuses new collectors. Many people think no mint mark means rare, but that's not always true. In fact, over 4.6 billion of these coins were produced in Philadelphia alone. Yes, billions. So at first glance, it might seem like this coin is extremely common, and in many cases, it is. But here's the twist: not all coins are created equal. The value of a 1976 no mint mark penny depends heavily on its condition. A coin that has been in circulation, scratched, worn, and faded, is usually worth only its face value or slightly more, around 1 to 5 cents. However, if you happen to find one in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks almost brand new, with a bright red shine, its value can increase significantly. High-grade examples, especially those graded MS-67 or higher, can sell for hundreds of dollars, sometimes reaching $120 to $350 or more depending on quality. And now comes the part that excites collectors the most: errors. Yes, error coins are where ordinary coins become extraordinary. Imagine a coin where the letters appear doubled, or the design is slightly off-center, or even a piece of the coin is missing due to a minting mistake. These rare errors can turn a simple penny into a valuable collectible. For example, a 1976 penny with a double die error, where the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" appear doubled, can be worth anywhere from $50 to $400 or more. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks are also highly sought after by collectors, with values ranging from $10 to over $200 depending on the severity of the error. So where does the idea of $1,200 come from? This is where things get a bit tricky. You may have seen videos or listings online claiming that a 1976 no mint mark penny is worth $1,200 or more. While it's not impossible, it is extremely rare. For a coin to reach that kind of value, it would need to be in near-perfect condition, professionally graded, and possibly have a unique or extremely rare error. In reality, most of these coins are not worth anywhere near that amount. Experts often warn that inflated prices online can be misleading, and many listings are based on hype rather than actual market demand. But don't let that discourage you, because the true value of this coin goes beyond money. This coin represents a moment in time, a connection to 1976, a year filled with celebration, pride, and history. It's a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry stories from the past. And who knows? That old jar of coins sitting in your home, the loose change in your pocket, or that forgotten collection in a drawer, might just contain a hidden gem. So what should you do if you find a 1976 penny with no mint mark? First, examine the coin carefully. Look for shine, color, and details. A bright red coin is usually more valuable than a dull brown one. Second, check for errors. Use a magnifying glass if you can. Look closely at the letters and numbers. Third, consider getting the coin professionally graded by experts like PCGS or NGC. This can significantly increase its value if it turns out to be rare. And finally, do your research. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and knowledge is your greatest tool. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about coins among collectors, the 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin, especially those mysterious pieces with no mint mark or rare variations that collectors are hunting like treasure. So stay with me till the end, because what you're about to learn might completely change how you look at your loose change forever. Let's begin with the basics. The 1979 1-cent coin is part of the famous Lincoln Memorial series. On the front, you'll see the iconic face of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been used since 1909. On the back, there's the Lincoln Memorial Building, symbolizing American history and pride. Now here's something important. Most people think that if a coin has no mint mark, it must be an error, or something rare. But that's not always true. In fact, many 1979 pennies without a mint mark were made at the Philadelphia Mint, and they were produced in massive numbers. Over 6 billion coins were minted there that year. So yes, most of these coins are actually very common. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 1979 pennies are equal. Some are ordinary, and some are extremely valuable. Let's talk about value. A normal 1979 penny in circulated condition is usually worth just 1 cent. Maybe 2 or 3 cents because of its copper content. Even uncirculated coins, the shiny ones, might only sell for a few dollars depending on condition. So how do people claim these coins are worth $1,200 or even more? The answer is simple. Rarity plus condition plus errors. Let's break that down. First, condition. Coins are graded on a scale from worn to perfect. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A nearly perfect 1979 penny, especially one with a bright red shine, can sell for much higher prices. In fact, some high-grade coins have sold for thousands of dollars at auction, simply because they are in near-perfect condition. That's right. Condition alone can turn a 1-cent coin into a 4-figure collectible. Second, rare errors. This is where things get really exciting. Some 1979 pennies have minting mistakes, and collectors love these. Here are a few examples. Double die errors, where the letters or numbers appear doubled off center strikes, where the design is misaligned clipped planchets, where part of the coin is missing die cracks, unusual raised lines or marks. These errors can increase the value dramatically. Some rare error coins from 1979 have sold for hundreds, even thousands of dollars depending on how visible the error is. Now let's address the big question. Can a 1979 penny really be worth $1,200? The answer is yes. But only under specific conditions. A regular coin? No, but a rare high-grade coin, or one with a strong error. Absolutely. There have been auction sales where exceptional 1979 pennies reached into the thousands. For example, certain rare varieties or extremely high-grade coins have crossed the $1,000 mark due to collector demand. Now let's talk about the 1979 D penny, the one with the small D mint mark. This coin was made in Denver, and over 4 billion were produced. Again, very common. But just like the no mint mark version, rare conditions and errors can make it valuable. In fact, one high-grade 1979 D penny sold for nearly $4,000 in the past. Let that sink in. A coin worth 1 cent, sold for thousands. So how do you know if your coin is valuable? Here's what you need to check right now. First, look at the date and mint mark. If there is no mint mark, it was made in Philadelphia. That's normal. If there's a D, it's from Denver. Second, check the condition. Is it shiny? Bright red? No scratches? If yes, it might be worth more. Third, inspect for errors. Look closely at the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Do you see doubling? Check if the coin is off-center or has unusual marks. These small details could mean big money. Here's something many beginners don't realize. Even though billions of these coins were made, very few survive in perfect condition. That's why collectors are willing to pay big money for top-quality examples. It's not about how many were made. It's about how many still exist in perfect shape today. Let's talk about a collector mindset. Coin collectors are not just buying metal, they're buying history. Each coin tells a story. The 1979 penny represents one of the final years before the US changed its coin composition in 1982 from mostly copper to zinc. That makes it even more special. It's part of the end of an era. Now imagine this. You're sorting through old coins at home. You find a 1979 penny. At first, it looks ordinary. But then you notice something strange. A doubling in the letters. A sharp red shine. And no scratches. You decide to get it graded, and suddenly, that 1-cent coin becomes worth hundreds, maybe even over $1,200. This is why coin collecting is so exciting. Treasure can be hiding in plain sight. Before we wrap up, here's a quick summary. Most 1979 pennies are common and worth only a few cents. But rare ones, especially those with. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins in American history, the 1990 Liberty 1-cent coin with no mint mark. A coin that looks ordinary, but in rare cases, can shock collectors with values starting from $1,200 and even reaching much higher. So before you spend your next penny, watch this video till the end. Because you might already be holding treasure. Let's begin. The 1990 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Penny, features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been part of American coins since 1909. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, symbolizing history, legacy, and national pride. But what makes this coin truly special is not its design, it's what's missing. Yes, the missing mint mark. Normally, U.S. coins have a small letter under the date. This letter tells you where the coin was made. A D means Denver. An S means San Francisco. But if your coin has no letter at all, it was minted in Philadelphia. Now here's where things get interesting. Most people think that a coin with no mint mark is rare. But that's not always true. In fact, billions of 1990 pennies were produced without a mint mark in Philadelphia. So why are some of these coins selling for $1,200 or more? The answer lies in three powerful factors: condition, rarity, and errors. Let's break it down. First, condition. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that looks shiny, untouched, and flawless is called uncirculated. These coins were never used in daily transactions. While most 1990 pennies are only worth a few cents, high-grade uncirculated coins can reach incredible values. Some have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions when graded at near-perfect levels. Imagine that, a coin worth 1 cent turning into thousands, just because it stayed in perfect condition. Second, rarity. Even though billions were made, not many survive in perfect shape. Over time, coins get scratched, worn out, or damaged. That means finding a flawless 1990 no mint mark penny today is extremely difficult. Collectors are always searching for these rare, high-quality coins, and they're willing to pay big money for them. Third, and most important, errors. This is where things get truly exciting. Some 1990 pennies were struck with minting mistakes. These errors can include double stamping, off-center designs, or missing details. But the most famous and valuable of all is the 1990 No S proof penny. This is not the same as the regular no mint mark coin. Let me explain. Proof coins are specially made for collectors. They are shiny, mirror-like, and produced with extra care. These coins are usually made in San Francisco and always carry an S mint mark. But in 1990, something went wrong. A small number of proof coins were accidentally made without the S mint mark, and that mistake turned them into one of the most valuable modern pennies in existence. Some of these rare coins have sold for thousands of dollars, even reaching over $7,000 depending on condition. That's the kind of discovery that can change someone's life overnight. Now, you might be wondering, how? Do you know if your coin is valuable? Here's what to look for. First, check the mint mark area under the date. If there is no letter, you have a Philadelphia coin. Next, examine the surface. Does it look shiny like a mirror? Or is it dull and worn? If it's shiny and flawless, it might be a proof coin. Then, check for errors. Look closely for unusual markings, doubling, or anything that looks different from a normal coin. Finally, consider getting your coin graded by a professional service. This can confirm its authenticity and increase its value. Because in the world of coin collecting, certification can make a huge difference. Now let's talk about the market. As of today, most circulated 1990 pennies are still only worth a few cents. But high-grade coins and rare varieties can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on demand and condition. Some listings online even claim prices starting from $1,200. Especially for coins believed to be rare or error types. However, experts warn that not every no mint mark penny is valuable. Many sellers inflate prices to attract attention. So always do your research before buying or selling, because knowledge is your most powerful tool, and that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. It's like a treasure hunt, hidden in plain sight. Every coin tells a story, every detail matters, and sometimes, the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. Imagine finding a simple penny in your drawer. Today, could this tiny coin be worth $1,200 or more? Studio microphone script. Have you ever looked at a simple penny and wondered, could this tiny piece of metal be hiding a fortune? What if I told you that a 1993 Liberty 1-cent coin with no mint mark might be sitting in your pocket right now, and in some rare cases, collectors are willing to pay hundreds, or even thousands of dollars for it? Yes, a coin worth just 1 cent could turn into a treasure. But here's the real question: do you have one of these rare coins? Let's uncover the mystery together. First, let's understand what makes the 1993 Liberty 1-cent coin so interesting. This coin is part of the famous Lincoln Memorial Penny series, one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. On the front, you'll see the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of strength, unity, and American heritage. On the back, the Lincoln Memorial stands tall, representing history and honor. But here's where things get interesting. If your coin has an no mint mark, it means it was produced in Philadelphia. Now, many people believe that no mint mark automatically means rare. But that's not entirely true. In fact, billions of these coins were made in 1993, over 5.6 billion coins, to be exact. So at first glance, it may seem like your coin is just an ordinary penny. But don't lose hope just yet, because in the world of coin collecting, condition and rare errors change everything. Let's talk about value. Most 1993 no mint mark pennies you find in everyday circulation are worth exactly what you expect, just 1 cent, sometimes slightly more, maybe 10 to 30 cents if the coin is in better shape. But here's where things get exciting. If your coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks almost brand new, its value can jump significantly. And if it's in near perfect condition, collectors can pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In fact, a high-grade 1993 penny has sold for over $3,000 at auction. Yes, from just 1 cent to thousands. Now you might be wondering, what makes one coin worth 1 cent and another worth over $1,000? The answer lies in 3 powerful factors: condition, rarity, and errors. Let's break them down. Point 1. Condition, the biggest factor. Coins are graded on a scale from worn out to perfect. Most coins in your pocket are heavily used. Scratches, fading, and damage reduce their value. But a coin in mint state condition, especially with a bright red shine, is extremely rare. Why? Because 1993 pennies are made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating, and they wear out quickly. So finding one in perfect condition is like finding a needle in a haystack, and collectors are willing to pay big money for that. Point 2. Rarity. Even though billions were made, very few survive in top condition. That's why rare high-grade examples can reach $1,000 or more in the collector's market. It's not about how many were made, it's about how many still exist in perfect shape. Point 3. Mint errors, the real treasure. This is where things get truly exciting. Some 1993 pennies have minting errors, tiny mistakes that occurred during production. These include doubled designs, off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped edges, and even extremely rare cases where coins were struck incorrectly. These error coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the uniqueness of the mistake. In fact, some rare 1993 penny errors have reached massive auction prices, shocking collectors worldwide. Now imagine this: you're going through your old coins. You find a 1993 penny, no mint mark. It looks shiny, almost new. Could that be your hidden treasure? But wait, before you get too excited, there's something very important you need to know. Not every 1993 no mint mark coin is valuable. In fact, most are completely ordinary. Experts clearly state that typical circulated coins are worth only face value. So how do you know if yours is special? Here are a few quick tips. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins in American history, the 1999 United States Liberty 1-cent coin, with no mint mark. And trust me, by the end of this video, you might want to go check every coin in your house. Let's start with the basics. The 1999 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Penny, features the legendary President Abraham Lincoln on the front. This iconic design has been part of American currency for decades. On the back, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of unity, history, and power. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these coins don't have a mint mark. Now, normally, coins are stamped with a small letter that tells you where they were made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But if your coin has no mint mark, that means it was produced in Philadelphia. And in 1999, over 5 billion of these coins were made in Philadelphia alone. So you might be thinking, if there are billions of them, how can one be worth $1,200? Here's the truth. Most of them are not valuable. In fact, a normal 1999 no mint mark penny in circulation is only worth 1 cent. Even in excellent condition, it might only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. But, and this is a big but, there are rare versions of this coin, hidden among the common ones, that collectors are willing to pay hundreds or even thousands of dollars for. So, what makes a simple penny so valuable? It all comes down to something called errors and varieties, mistakes made during the minting process. And in 1999, one of the most famous and valuable errors was created. It's called the wide AM error. Let me explain. If you flip your coin over and look closely at the word America, you'll notice two letters, A and M. On most coins, these letters are very close together, almost touching. This is called the close AM design, and it's completely normal. But on some rare 1999 pennies, there is a clear space between the A and the M. This is the wide AM, and this tiny difference can completely change the value of your coin. Why did this happen? Because of a mistake at the US Mint. A design that was meant only for proof coins was accidentally used on regular circulation coins. And just like that, a rare collectible was born. Now here's where things get exciting. A 1999 wide AM penny can be worth anywhere from $100 to over $4,500 depending on condition. Even average circulated examples can sell for over $100, and in high grades, some have sold for thousands. So where does the $1,200 value come in? Coins in excellent condition, with strong details and original red color, can easily reach values around $1,000 to $1,200 or more in the collector market. Because collectors are not just buying a coin, they are buying rarity, they are buying history, they are buying a mistake that was never supposed to happen. But wait, there's more. The wide AM is not the only valuable version of the 1999 penny. There are other rare errors too, like double die coins, where the design appears slightly duplicated. These can be worth anywhere from $50 to $500 or more. Or off-center strikes, where the coin looks misaligned, sometimes selling for $15 to $100, and in extremely rare cases, coins struck on the wrong metal planchet have sold for thousands of dollars. But here's something very important you need to understand. Not every unusual-looking coin is valuable. Many 1999 pennies show bubbles, spots, or damage. These are often just plating issues, and they are worth nothing extra. So don't get fooled by every small imperfection. So how can you check your coin? Here's a quick guide. First, look at the date, 1999. Second, check for no mint mark under the date. Third, flip the coin and examine the word America. If the A and M are clearly separated, you might have a rare wide AM coin, and if you do, you could be holding something incredibly valuable. But remember, condition matters. A worn coin will always be worth less than a shiny, well-preserved one. Collectors prefer coins with bright red color and minimal scratches.